because if they had been a face-to-face, and we have 57 parents show up, that would have been.
Okay.
All right, it's unmuted.
This is Connect, Inform, and Engage with Nash County Public Schools. Today's topic, supporting student mental health, social, and emotional needs. We're pleased to have Mrs. Christy Grant, our Executive Director for Exceptional Children, to speak.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Connect, Inform, Engage, where we will discuss the structures Nash County Public Schools has in place to support the social, emotional learning and mental health needs of our students. Research shows that addressing the whole child to include the social, emotional well-being leads to increased academic achievement, improved mental health, and provides a path for college or career success upon graduation. Tonight, our panel of experts will discuss further the support we have in place across the district to develop the social emotional skills that our students need in order to be successful.
This evening, very happy to have our designated clown, and we also like to thank Mrs. Christy Grant for that wonderful welcome to tonight's session. I am the Nash County Public Schools Coordinator. I would like to take a moment just to review with you our district's mission and our 5 strategies. It is the mission of the Nash County Public Schools to be committed to high quality academic and social experiences for all. We have 5 strategies that we are focused on that we're hoping by hashtag Nash 2025 we have met. Strategy priority number 1. Priority number 1, increase grade level proficiency across all grades and subjects. Priority 2 is to increase the number of schools that exceed growth. Priority 3 is to ensure equitable outcomes for all subgroups. Priority 4 is equitable staff and build capacity across all schools and departments. And priority 5, efficient and effective operations across all of our school districts. The format for tonight's session has already begun. We've had our welcome by Mrs. Christy Grant, and then we're going to have a presentation from our mental health department of the Nash County Public Schools. Following that, we will have an opportunity for you as parents and community members to be able to ask our expert panel any questions that you have regarding your child's mental health and how we can assist or how Nash County Public Schools has taken the charge of making sure that we treat the whole child. Following that, you would then have an invitation to our next session, and then we will close out our session. At this time, I would like to introduce our panel. Our panel includes, to your right, Mrs. Jenny Kerr, our Project Aware Director. Mrs. Christy Grant, our EC Director. And we have Mrs. Jones, our Mental Health Coordinator. Joining us online is Mrs. Tanita McMillan, our Project Aware Coach and Evaluator. Once again, on the screen to your left is Mrs. Tequila Jones. To your right is Mrs. Kerr, and in the bottom corner is Mrs. McMillan. These ladies make up our mental health department of the Nash County Public Schools. So at this time, we would like to turn our presentation over, beginning with Mrs. Kerr, our Project Aware Director.
Good evening. We wanted to share with you about an exciting grant that we now have in Nash County Public Schools. We are one of 6 school districts in North Carolina to receive a 5-year grant focusing on addressing the mental health needs of our students. We know that academic success is related to the mental health and well-being of students, and we want to address these needs. Project Aware stands for Advancing Wellness and Resiliency in Education, and that's what our department is focusing on for the next 5 years, as well as into the future.
We have mental health coverage in all of our schools, providing outpatient therapy during school hours. We currently work with 2 agencies, Yoderon and Integrated Family Services. In addition, we have 3 clinicians hired by the district. We also make referrals to other community agencies based on individual student needs. Parents and guardians can contact their child's school counselor or social worker for referral. Anyone looking for mental health resources can contact Trillium and East Point. Trillium serves Nash County residents and East Point serves Edgecombe County residents. Down East Partnership can also provide resources for pre-K students. Trillium and East Point also provide services for pre-K students, but Down East Partnership for children is very specific to pre-K. So when students struggle with their mental health, it affects the entire family. 1 in 5 youth have a mental health disorder, and only half receive any mental health services. Delay in treatment worsens the condition and can affect treatment later on. So how do you know if your child is experiencing having a mental health crisis or has any type of mental health concern? And some of the things that we tell parents to look for are changes in their behavior, personality changes, mood changes. If you have a child that's been bubbly and happy-go-lucky, and then all of a sudden they're withdrawn into themselves, that's a sign of concern. Or if you have a child who's quiet and all of a sudden you're seeing them being more vocal, more aggressive, that's also a change in their behavior. Changes in their functioning, a child who might have been a neat freak at one point and now doesn't care about their clothing or, taking care of their personal needs, that's also a sign for concern. If there's any family crisis going on, like a divorce or loss of a loved one or even a pet, be mindful of how your child is responding to those situations. And if your child is making any type of statement about hurting themselves or hurting others, that's definitely a sign of concern and you want to reach out to someone. Talk to your child, express to them that you have a concern and ask them questions like, I noticed that your behavior is changing, or I noticed that you used to do this and now you don't seem to like this anymore. But have an open, honest conversation with your child and let them know what you see and what you're recognizing in their behavior to start that conversation about what is going on with them. And if you're concerned about what your student is going through, or you notice some signs that we just mentioned, what are some of the things that you can do? Well, the first thing, you can talk to your child's school counselor. Talk to them about making a referral to our school-based mental health services. And we do those during the school day, so it doesn't affect you at all. The child's able to be seen during the day. You don't have to drive anywhere. So we make it very convenient to make sure your child is able to get served. You can also talk to your child's doctor, any community members, if you're faith-based community, if you attend a church, reach out to the school. Like we just mentioned, there are several support services personnel available in the school, along with the counselor. We have the social worker, the nurse, school psychologist, but ask for help, but we can definitely make referrals for you. And then just look around in your support system, family members, people that you're close to, other parents, and just get support from them as well. And keep in mind that untreated mental health illness can lead to school dropout, unemployment, substance abuse issues, arrest, and sometimes, you can look at the news and see even death. And so we want to make sure if you see anything that you reach out to us and let us provide the support that we have in our schools for your child.
Social and emotional learning, or as many refer to it as SEL, has been in our schools for decades. However, it's been called different things. Some of those names are character education, soft skills, non-cognitive skills, 21st century skills, and life skills. As defined by Castle, social emotional learning is a process through which people build awareness and skills in managing emotions, setting goals, establishing relationships, and making responsible decisions that support success in school and in life. Social emotional learning develops cognitive social competencies such as self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. For students, developing such competencies fosters positive social skills, reduces conduct problems, diminishes emotional stress, and improves academic performance. Self-awareness is the ability to understand one's emotions, thoughts, and values, and how they influence behavior across contexts. Self-management is the ability to manage one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors effectively in different situations and to achieve goals and aspirations. Social awareness is the ability to understand the perspectives of and empathize with others, including those from diverse backgrounds and cultures. Relationship skills refer to the ability to establish and maintain healthy and supportive relationships and to effectively navigate settings with diverse individuals and groups. And lastly, responsible decision-making refers to the ability to make caring and constructive choices about personal behavior and social interactions across different situations. Nash County Public Schools has adopted 2 programs that teach social emotional learning content explicitly. They are Second Step and School Connect. Second Step is a holistic approach to building supportive communities for every child through social emotional learning. Second Step is being utilized in our elementary and our middle schools. School Connect is the program used to teach social emotional learning to our high school students. And we have currently 2 high schools that are utilizing School Connect. Integration of social emotional learning and instruction can foster academic mindsets. Academic mindsets are beliefs or ways of perceiving oneself in relation to learning, and they lay the groundwork for deep academic, social, and emotional learning. Academic mindsets have a positive impact on persistence and school performance, according to research. An example of this could be a student saying to themselves, "I can succeed at this task at hand." Teachers consider how the content is delivered and support social emotional learning practices throughout the lesson. An example could be a chemistry teacher teaching their students ways to make responsible decisions as students engage in an experiment and the consequences for both the good and bad choices that occur when completing a lab. And finally, class discussions and cooperative learning are 2 strategies that students can practice social emotional learning skills during a lesson. We have also implemented Check and Connect as a means for behavioral support in some of our schools. We are looking to add additional schools. Check and Connect program that helps increase engagement of students who face certain challenges. We pair these students with a mentor, and the mentor meets with the students weekly to set goals and help students achieve their goal.
We also provide resources for resilience and trauma in our district. We know that all human beings face adverse experience in their home, community, and personal lives. These are identified hardships that individuals face, but there are many more than are shown on the screen. Adverse childhood experiences can be things like having a family member with mental health illness in the home, having someone in the home who has a substance abuse addiction, experiencing different types of abuse or neglect, or witnessing violence. We also experience adverse conditions in our community, such as poverty, homelessness, poor housing quality, violence, or community disruption. Discrimination is also a large adverse community environment experience that our youth can experience. We know that 60% of youth have had an adverse childhood experience by the age of 18, and just as many adults experience adverse situations. For youth, these adverse childhood experiences can lead to disruption in the academic environment, cause some behavioral problems in school, cause children to miss school and have a high level of absences, and increase their suspension rate due to the behavioral problems. As a school district, we all want to be trauma-informed and resilience-focused, and we want this for all of our stakeholders as well. Resilience is the ability to face hard things and continue to thrive. There are many adverse conditions that happen out of our control, but we can control how we respond to them. The more resilient a person and youth is, the more successful the student will be in school and in their community. We know that students who are resilient are able to lower their suspension rates. They are not called to the office for behavioral referrals. They tend to have a higher level of attention and focus on tasks, and they have higher test scores. The ability to be resilient against the hard situations that we faced is in direct correlation to academic success. We're fortunate in our district to be able to provide a number of programs to address resiliency and build the understanding about trauma and to build resiliency in our students. We have the BCOM program in a couple of our high schools, and we also have the Resilience and Learning Project in 6 of our elementary schools. Resources for resilience has been taught to a number of our schools across the district so that teachers can implement these strategies to students in all of the schools. We are looking to increase our curriculum that is focused on resilience as we move through the upcoming years. So a final area that we want to touch on is parent support. We have been very fortunate to gather information from our Parent Advisory Committee and from a parent focus group that we held in May. From that, we have developed a plan of upcoming initiatives that we want to provide to parents. For one, based on our parent feedback, we are in the process of coordinating parent support groups addressing various issues about mental illness. And this was in direct correlation to what we heard back from parents, that there was a need to learn more about different mental health disorders and seek support, and also that connection from other parents who are addressing the same similar situation with their youth. We also have a plan to roll out information on a monthly basis about mental health topics to schools that can be shared out with parents. This information will be distributed, and we look for feedback on what topics parents are most interested in having us address. And finally, we have updated our NCPS website with available mental health resources and also information about the programs that we are offering. We are very proud of our mental health program that we've developed, and we look forward to the support and input from all of our parents and all of our stakeholders. And we thank you for allowing us this opportunity.
We would like to thank our distinguished panel for the information that they have presented tonight. At this time, parents, this is an opportunity for you to be able to ask questions to either our Project Aware Director, our mental health coordinator, or our executive director for exceptional services. Excuse me, exceptional service and student support services, Mrs. Grant. We do have some questions that were submitted in advance, and we will begin with those. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. My battery decided to die. Please forgive us. Tonight has been a night of technical difficulties, but we do thank you all for your patience and for staying with us as we did present a topic that is close to our heart. Before we can educate students, we need to make sure they're socially, emotionally, and mentally ready for our academic performance. The first question that we had submitted was, is it possible for me to know the strategies that my child is being taught so that I can help to reinforce these strategies at home?
So for middle and elementary school, I would say contact your child's teacher. They're using the Second Step program, and there is parent forms that teachers can print out that enhance the activities or supplement the activities that they've done with Second Step. So you can just contact your child's teacher, ask them for the parent forms for the modules that they're currently working on or the module that they're in, and they can use the activities from the form to reinforce that. For high school, I would say contact the school counselor, because we have some high schools that are doing pilot programs for certain programs. And so the counselor will be able to answer the question on what program they're using and provide information on the website, because a lot of our stuff for high school is digital, the website where they can get that information as well. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you just rehash that in case some
Yes, ma'am.
others could not hear you?
So for middle school and elementary school, they use the Second Step SEL program, social emotional learning program, and it has a parent component where teachers can print off forms and activities for parents to work on the lessons or the topics for that week with their student. And so I would just say parents just contact your child's teacher and ask for the parent forms, and they can just print them off and send them home. And it has activities that supplement what they've been doing in the week with Second Step. For high school, I will contact the school counselor, because every high school, they may be a pilot school for a particular program, or they're doing their own SEL lessons based on our district plan. And so the counselor will be able to give them information specific to that high school of where to find strategies that they're already using in the school.
Thank you. Our next pre-selected question was, if I notice that my child's behavior is changing at home, is this something I should share? And if so, with whom?
Yes, definitely. We do want parents to share with us so that we can work with you and help support your student. The best contact would be your school's counselor. You may share with them the concerns you have, any changes that you're seeing in behavior. And that type of information can help guide the counselor and the school in helping to better address the concerns for your student, and also supporting you in making needed referrals to meet your students' needs.
Thank you. Are there things that I should make the school aware of so that they can help my child emotionally?
Yes. Any changes in family, situation, any loss, any sickness, anything that changes in that family structure, even living situation, please let us know because all of that affects a student. And when we know that, we're able to put supports in place to prevent any type of hate behavior that may cause issues for them. We can put supports in place where we can check in on them. They can have a safe space to be able to have someone to talk to and process the things that the family is going through. So it's very important that you share that information. It's not about, being in your business. It's really about supporting the kids and meeting the kids where they're at. And us having that information allows us to create the best plan for your child.
Thank you. Are students graded for SEL? Is that a conduct grade on the report card?
No, students are not graded for SEL. It is a program just to help build that life support and life skills and help them be ready for college and career.
Thank you. If I choose to use the school's mental health resources for my child, will my child's information be confidential?
Absolutely. The only way we can share any information about a student in regards to their mental health services that they're receiving, the parent would have to sign a consent for release of confidential information. And when they sign that, a discussion will be had about who that information will be shared with, and that also will be on the document. Outside of that, we do not share any confidential information unless the parent gives us consent.
Thank you. Talking about social emotional needs, how are teachers prepared to deal with students as they face trauma, have many ACEs?
That's a really good question. So all of our teachers receive 6 hours of youth mental health training. In addition to that, many of them are experiencing and participating in the resiliency training that I spoke of, as well as all teachers receive social emotional learning training as well. As new topics come up and we're aware of them as they arise in the district, we do work to provide that professional development to our teachers so that they can be as well trained as possible. And we also encourage all of our teachers to reach out to student support staff if they need any assistance with referrals or have any concerns.
Thank you. Is there a helpline that I can call if I would like to report something to the school system but remain anonymous?
So right now, if you just need to report something that's going on in the school, just contact the school's administrator or the school counselor. But if someone's in immediate danger, like your child, or you know of another child that's in danger, call 911 and report that information. But if there's something that you just want to inform us that you've heard or some information on social media or something like that, you can definitely just contact the school administrator or the school counselor.
And we do have the Say Something Act for our secondary students and parents. But for elementary, if you do not have that Say Something access, then please dial 911 or please let our administrators know. But the Say Something app is another good resource.
Thank you. We're looking to any parents that have any questions. This is the time to ask any questions. And we're going to give you about 5 more minutes for parents to ask questions. We have asked all the questions that were given to us in advance that people wanted me to make sure were answered. So we'll just wait 5 minutes. And then if not, we will go ahead and close today's session out. At this time, we have not had any questions at this time. We would just like to show parents the contact information on the presentation so that you can have, if you have any questions or concerns, you would know who the contact people are. And this is our panel. Mrs. Jenny Kerr, our Project Aware Director, Mrs. Tequila Jones, who's our Mental Health Coordinator, and Mrs. Tanita McMillan, who's our Project Aware Coach and Evaluator. If you have any questions or concerns regarding your child's mental health, as has already been stated, please reach out and make your contact the teacher, your principals, and your school counselors. If you need more, you can feel free to contact Jenny Kerr, Tequila Jones, and Mrs. McMillan. You can also reach out to me as your parent coordinator. My job is to be your triage person and help you to get to the right person. So at this time, we would like to thank you all for connecting with us. We are hoping that you were informed and that you were able to engage with us. Have a good night. Goodbye.